Hey guys, happy Monday. I am so excited to have the chance to be with you guys today. Today's topic is called creating forever customers. And it seriously fires me up even just to say that out loud, like creating forever customers. So I have to tell you guys, I live just outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's very, very freaking cold here right now, like very cold. And on Saturday, I trained at Super Saturday in Chicago. And it was a phenomenal day. David and Angelique Nori were there training. And I had the opportunity to train on the comp plan. And, I walked people through the you share, they share, repeat, which is really the fast cash and Isagenix, which I'm so distracted that because my hair has all these little pieces that are flying up. Anyway, I trained on two parts to the Isagenix comp plan. There's the fast cash, and then there's the long-term residual income piece. Okay, here's where I feel like people lose their path. They are so focused on the fast cash. They are so focused on that upfront money that they forget that the magic of everything holy and great that we have going on is in the long-term residual income side, okay? So it is important that you still know and understand you share, they share, repeat. You have to understand how to show people how to make money, and that fast cash is there, and it's there for a reason. And I think the sole reason the fast cash is there is for two things. Number one, that people never have to say no to Isagenix due to cost. And number two, to build their belief in the business that they can actually make some amount of money. But if you are in this because you see the long-term opportunity in Isagenix, this is going to free your family, this is going to create breathing room in your budget, whatever that looks like for you, you have to be focused on the long term, okay? And that is why when we talk about creating forever customers, that is the long game, right? We're not focused on the PIB because the PIB is very, very short term and it comes and it goes quick. So when I was training on Saturday and we talked a lot about how does you share, their share, repeat work? How does the long-term income work? And then I focused the last part of that on how do we create, what do you need to do? What is the action you need to do to create those long-term customers? How are you going to get that residual income? The only way I believe you're going to consistently get people residual income, number one, is you have to help them change their habits, which is why this Forever Pack is such a game changer in the way people are looking at their Isagenix business, because it is all about changing habits. Number two was you have to help them enjoy the journey, meaning we have to get ourselves out of this mindset of a 30-day fast start, all the challenges, which is the irony is my team is launching an 11-day shred right now. And it's just not people aren't interested in that right now. Okay. So how can you help them fall in love with the journey? How can you get them paid? Right. So that's the purpose of the fast cash, is to build that level of belief. And then the last piece, if you want to build long-term residual income, is you have to plug them in. They have to feel the community. They have to feel the sense of what Isagenix vision and mission is. Okay. So those are kind of the bases that I say that you need if you want to create long-term income. Now we're going to focus really primarily today on this, how can we help people change their habits? Because that is how you're going to create long-term forever customers, is changing habits. So I was boxing with Meredith yesterday because I'm a very visual learner. So if you're a visual learner, you're like my people and I love you. If you're not, you're going to totally gloss over this and it's not going to mean anything to you. But I needed to wrap my head around why is it that this shift, why does this pivot need to happen right now? Here's the thing. I've been in Isagenix for, it'll be 6 years, building my business 7 years, building my, whatever, 6 years, we'll say that. Anyway, I've seen a lot of change, and here's what I will say about the product introductory bonuses. If we don't get people into the mindset that the product introductory bonuses are the fast cash, and what did I say? To do two things: make sure they don't have to say no to Isagenix nutrition ever because of cost, and to build their belief. That can only be the focus of what that fast cash is. That can be only what people are building their income knowing that that's what it is. They can't believe that the PIBs are the income. Do you notice that there's a real, that's a pivot right there. The PIBs are not the real income. And here's why, for my visual learners. When people are focused on the PIBs and the rank advancement bonuses to earn their income, they're building a house of cards. And I literally in my picture, I picture playing cards where you build a little house out of cards. And it like looks good, right? You're like making cash. You like run to Crystal Director. You make $750. You earn PIBs. You do all this stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, and the whole house of cards falls over because there's no stability there. Because the only way the house of cards was built was on these quick one-time bonuses. They're great. They're amazing. They serve a purpose. They are not the foundation of your business. So when I started thinking about in that framework, I'm like, okay, how can we make the pivot out of the house of cards? Because we don't want a house of cards. We want stability. We want strength. We want to build forever customers. So this is about building a house of bricks, right? Isn't it like the Three Little Pigs where they like blow your house down? Okay, you're with me. Okay, so anyway, I just thought of that. Like this was totally obviously not me making it up. It's the Three Little Pigs. But anyway, so building the house of bricks. So I believe that starting people on the Forever Pack or anything that is going to educate them and empower them to change their habits is the brick, okay? And you know what? Here's the thing about houses of brick. They take longer to build, right? You can build a house of cards really fast. I could probably do it on the call. But bricks take longer, but it's about strong foundation. It's about focusing on that long game. It's about being sure when like a little wind comes through that your house doesn't blow down. So the bricks is how you start them. Now the mortar, which is like the cement that goes between the bricks, that's the lifestyle rewards. It has a really crucial part of this, and you have to really understand that. So like, let's talk about the bricks because that is the foundation of how we're going to build forever customers. So the brick is where you start them. Now we're all really excited and energized about the Forever Pack because it's simple. We know it's a product that people need. We can wrap our head around one superfood smoothie a day and amazing anti-aging pills to take. Okay, we can wrap our head around that. I also want to just like empower you to think that if we make this all about how we can serve people to change their habits, you guys, it can be a lot of different combinations, right? So I just want you to like, just like prop your head open to the fact that if somebody is trying to address like long-term gut health, whatever, you can pivot that a little bit. But for the purposes of today, we're going to talk about the Forever Pack because that I think is baseline and it's accessible to anyone. Okay, so when I looked through the information about the people that use Isagenesis, here's what I did. I went and looked at the information that Dave MacArthur and Lenny Evans provide their team on why young people need Isagenesis. Because here's the thing, whatever age you are, if you can tailor your messaging to a young person, you can reach anyone, right? Because the people that are older in life or the people like me who are like mid-30s, like I'm already like, yeah, why these wrinkles? Like I already know that I need to focus on anti-aging, right? But we want this product to look really accessible to anyone. So here are the things that they say are the benefits of Isagenesis for young people, like millennials and below, okay? These are the things that they specifically say. Focus and clarity, number 1. Number 2, endurance and core strength. Endurance and core strength. 3, sleep. 4 is recovery. And they even like put in parentheses, from a long night out, which I thought was hilarious. Number 5, digestion. Okay, so it has a place in the digestion story. 6 is recovering from injury or any sort of trauma to your body. So that could be surgery, something like that. Mood. So mood and stress were a part of that. And then 8 was relief from chronic pain. Okay. So when we talk about trying to get people to make long-term habit changes, I look at that list and I think about, okay, what are the things, if I'm building my foundation, what are the things that never change? What are the areas that never get old, that people always have to address? Like there is no end date to it. In my mind, there's no end date to focus and clarity. There's no end date. Everybody needs that at every age, focus and clarity. 2, sleep. Man, if people could really grasp how sleep is impacting their bodies and their mind and their health, oh my gosh, everybody should be paying all the dollars to help them sleep. Sleep. It never changes. It never goes old. Every age. Digestion. Never gets old. Never changes. And then the last one I want to say that I think is really important is that core strength, because, you know, as we age, balance and strengthen our core and endurance become a huge factor. I put that last because that's the one variable that I think can be harder for people to grasp like its full importance right away. But focus and clarity, sleep, and digestion are three like things you can hang your hat on that like everybody gets, and it has no end date. And I think that's important, that when we start to make this pivot to really talking about the Forever Pack and talking about creating forever customers, it's about helping educate them on to understand there is no end date. This is not a 30-day pack. There is no end date, which is why how you start them is the first brick. And the mortar, the cement that's going between, is the lifestyle rewards, because there is this aspect of changing the way people are looking at their Isagenix to be sure that they understand it's a lifestyle change. It's a habit change. So the lifestyle rewards becomes important because it is how you get them to commit, right, to making the change, which is like in 30 days, 2 more shakes in your Isagenesis are going to arrive, right, because you're going to be taking it every single day and you're needing to replenish your supply. And that is going to be the lifeblood of your business. If you can get someone to grasp that first pivot to habit changes, and then the second pivot to I'm going to order these products every 30 days, your business will transform. And we will create forever customers because they will have in their head, they will never stop using this, because it's I will continue forever until. Because I need nutrition for my body. That's what the superfood smoothie is going to do for me first thing in the morning. It's also going to kickstart my metabolism, which is also something that never ever changes. We always need that. And then I have a product that's going to help me in addition to aging. It's going to help me with focus and clarity. It's going to help me with sleep, and it's going to help me with digestion. All things that never change no matter the age. Okay. So this is why I think the Forever Pack is the game changer in the way we show up and we talk about our Isagenix business. So a couple of things that I know are there questions? Maybe I should take a pause and a deep breath here. Let's look and see if there's any. Yes, auto ship is key. Yeah, habit changing. Okay, if anybody has any questions, I have the chat open now. If you need anything or have any questions. But I just think it's really important to think about making this pivot to one, the way that you look at the comp plan and the way you talk to people about the comp plan. Because if all you ever share is the you share, they share, repeat, all they're ever seeing is the fast cash. And so they cannot grasp their head around why would they share anything that doesn't have a product introductory bonus. Okay. So you have to pivot the way not only you talk about the products, but also the way you talk about the comp plan. Because again, the PIBs serve a purpose. They're there for a reason, but they're not the everything. And I think it's harder for people to communicate how the long-term income works and what the real opportunity is there. And I know Dave MacArthur in the Power of Two video, he has a tool there, and Meredith and I have been talking about what else we can do to provide a tool that might be useful in helping explain that. So I think that the next big hurdle that I see people facing is like what to do now. Like you're all like, I'm here, I'm on board, I'm all about creating forever customers, I'm all about the Forever Pack, I can get on board with changing habits, I can get on board with making the pivot to long versus PIBs, like you're with me, right? So what to do now? So we have one thing happening, right? Is that Isagenesis is currently out of stock. So that is happening right now. It's a great thing. That's a clue. That's a really good thing. So when I was messaging with Meredith yesterday, my background is actually in marketing. And I actually think there's a huge advantage right now for us, the fact that it's sold out, because you know what like creates like buying desires more than anything is FOMO. Marquise, like when people can't get something, they're like, what's going on? What have I missed? You know? So I want you to really use that to your advantage. So instead of, because trust me, I've gotten messages from people on my team that are like, it's not in stock, like negative. No, use it as your advantage, right? So there's this opportunity right now, I feel like, to do 2 things. Number 1, educating people. So you have this opportunity to go back to people already within your team. And we're going to come back and talk about what that looks like in just a minute. So educating is one opportunity that you have while the product is out of stock. And then number 2 is what can you do right now? So we're going to talk about that right now since Charity mentioned that in the comments, and there is a sense of urgency, right? We want to like create action. So obviously Isagenix came out with a promotion today, which is for 150 BV or higher, free enrollment and 10% off, right? I think I got that right. Yep, everybody's shaking their head. Good. So that's happening this week on top of the Fast Start consultant bonuses. Now, the Fast Start consultant bonuses I love because what are we all doing? We're making a pivot away from starting people with a pack that has PIBs, and the Fast Start consultant bonus is giving us an opportunity to get people fast cash without the PIB, right? So that is a huge, huge opportunity. So what do we do right now? So there's a couple of different things. If somebody is ready to get started right now, here is my recommendation. They want to take advantage of what they have going on. I want you to still have the discussion with them about what Forever Nutrition looks like with Isagenix and what's going to look like for them, which is baseline nutrition of 1 superfood smoothie a day and this Isagenesis. You're going to still posture that, like, and you're going to say like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, it's just taking over right now. Like, we can't even keep the product in stock. I'm so excited for you to get your hands on it. Here's what we're going to do though. We're going to get you started so you can take advantage of this deal that Isagenix has to offer. So we're going to get your 2 canisters of superfood smoothies to get you started on that right away. Let's talk about what else you currently have in your house that we could replace with something else Isagenix has to offer. Okay? Because we want to get the products in their body right away. We're always all about how can we serve people. What other products do Isagenix have to offer right now that they could replace that's in their pantry? Are they coffee drinkers? Are they currently having meal replacement bars in their house? Are they currently taking other vitamins? What else can you offer them that will expose them to other Isagenix products? And then it's like, as soon as the Isagenesis becomes available, you are going to be the first person I text message so we can put those into your lifestyle rewards so that in your next order, that you have it locked and loaded and ready to go. What about older people? I have a customer wanting 2 shakes and that's it. I've talked to her about Isagenesis. She's about 30. Do I sign her up with that right now? Well, it's sold out. Yeah, honestly, you guys, this is all about, I would take a 80-year-old who drinks 1 shake a day and orders 2 canisters. I would take them over and over and over again over a person that orders 1 value pack. So this, to me, the pivot we're all making is about creating forever customers. And yes, if they just want 2 shakes a day, I would sell them the canisters, the 2 canisters or 2 canisters of shakes. I would just sell them that, honestly, and get them started. And how can you serve them? I would also, though, like pose the question back to you, Laura, which is like, what is their goal? Like, is their goal that they're just looking for convenient nutrition? They want something healthier than Ensure? Absolutely. Then yes, just get them the shakes. They need that. Their bodies deserve that. The second question would be then, like, if their goal is something other than just like good, convenient, quick nutrition, what is that? And is there another Isagenix product that really makes sense to complement the shakes with that maybe they haven't even considered because they don't know what Isagenix has to offer? So that's my only, yes, Meredith says heart booster. So that's my only thing where, like, I'm all about starting people where they want and where they want to be at, but you have to be willing to ask the questions because often they don't know everything that Isagenix has to offer. So they won't even know to ask for, like, why would I want to buy low acidic coffee? Why would that make sense for me and my health? Like Meredith said about Heart Booster, like that didn't even cross my mind because there's so many other products out there. So you got to ask the questions of like what it is that they desire so that you can put a pack together that's complementary for them. And if at the end of the day, it's like, listen, I'm drinking a can of Ensure that's full of sucralose and it doesn't fill me up and it's making my gut ache and that's it, perfect. Start them on the shakes and just, keep loving on them. She's got a bunch of health problems, but money's had her heart booster is a great idea. Or an immune booster too. I mean, in the elderly population, especially, like immunity is like a huge factor. I mean, honestly, like the immune essential oil and immunity booster could be like a really powerful tool right away. But yes, that's how I would answer that. So to go back to where we were, so new people. So there's a couple of opportunities. There, one, how can you take advantage of the promotion happening right now, getting them started with Isagenix, starting them with their shakes, finding what other complementary products might make sense, and really posturing them that like they're going to be the first ones you contact when Isagenesis comes back, because you want to be sure they're on this path of really changing their nutrition and their habits, and you want them to have access to that right away. So that's one way that you can posture that to get people enrolled right now. Now, the flip of this is also there is always this like psychology and selling about creating a pre-order list, okay? So there is this idea too that like you could be just making like a full court press on like how many people can you present to, and maybe it feels better to you that you want to like start to establish a list of people that the day that Isagenesis comes back on the market, you're ready to like go gangbusters. Now, there is like, there's positives and negatives to both sides. I would say that my preference is going to be trying to not push people, but like get them started on Isagenix right away and serving them with other complementary products right away versus creating this pre-order list, only because sometimes more time gives people, they might decide it's not right for them or whatever. But there is something to that as well. I do think anything that you can do to really posture Isagenesis while it's sold out, that this is the product you want and there is a reason that it is sold out, and that potentially like, to help drive enrollments this week, it could even be, like, let's get you like a membership, like let's get you in right away so that as soon as that product becomes available, you have instant access to it. Like you don't even need me. You can just log on it to your own online grocery store and order your product right away. You can overnight it to yourself if you really want it. Like if you can create that kind of like energy around Isagenesis, that will be really powerful. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the comments here. Yes, Biome. Yes, the IsaBiome is amazing. That is a game changer too. I think that product everybody should have as well. The vitamins are great, getting them in the habit of taking vitamins morning even. Yeah, my parents, they did do like a 30-day system when they started, and it just like cleansing, like whatever. It just was not like their scene. They do daily cleansing, but they are the most consistent. I mean, they take the vitamins every single day, morning and night, and they always, always, always have one shake a day. And I would take them as customers, like I said, over all the value packs, because they are so consistent in the way they order, and that volume makes a difference. I mean, shakes and vitamins is like where it's at volume wise. Okay, so that's kind of how I would handle new customers coming in. Does that make sense? Does anybody else have any other questions before I pivot back? My mom started her second month with Isagenesis instead of give her tons of energy. Yes, yeah, makes a huge, huge difference. Okay, so we're going to pivot back now to talk about current customers, because there is a huge opportunity with our current customers. And when I say current customers, here's my definition of that. Anybody that's ever enrolled with you or is within your downline. So if they are terminated, I'm still putting them into in my head, they're still a customer because they were a customer at one point in time, right? So a couple of different opportunities to go back to those people. In psychology, there is this approach of, I didn't know then what I know now, right? And I don't think you need to apologize for that. Like I'm not a person that's a proponent of like apologizing for things, but I think it's always fair to say, I wish I had known then what I know now. And I think there's real power in saying that to people that you're going back to. Maybe it's people that they tried to do the business, you guys. We all have them. Like they tried to do the business in their terms. They maybe even went to an ICU or a Super Saturday. They were into the vision, they caught it, and they couldn't get the momentum. They couldn't get the energy. Maybe they didn't have the network. Maybe they weren't bold enough, whatever that might look like. Maybe the cost was just a hang up in their own head and they literally just couldn't find themselves through that hurdle themselves, and therefore were not able to help other people get started. Those are people that this is such a good opportunity to go back to and say, like, I have such a fresh perspective on what Isagenix has to offer. And this isn't just me. Like our whole team, those people that you love, those people that you took pictures with at Super Saturday, we are all making this change because we realize that while Isagenix can help people with weight loss, while Isagenix can help people earn a six-pack, here's its biggest blessing. It can help you in your everyday health. And I wish that I knew then that I should really just be so 100% focused on how I can help people nourish their bodies every single day. And that's really the biggest gift of Isagenix. So I think that is how I'm posturing going back to people. And that's really my approach with people that were maybe they're even still ordering products, but they were at one time interested in the business, and they, for whatever reason, like I think Dave MacArthur calls it, like they lost their Isagenix mojo, they just like fell off, and we all have those people. There is something about that, like just giving them that permission that I always take ownership of that, right? I'm taking ownership by saying, I wish I knew then what I know now. But I'm also saying, I would be doing you a disservice, right? If I didn't at least come back to you and say, like, I just want you to see this fresh perspective and see it the way I see it. And if it's still not for you, I'll love on you like I always do. But I feel like you need to see this because I knew that you caught the vision of Isagenix, and maybe this is just what you would need. Like, this might be the perspective that might be what it takes for you. Because I think people can really get on board with the habit changes, and the lower price point, it just makes it feel so much more accessible. So I think that's the opportunity to go back to people. People that are terminated, I will say there's a huge opportunity for them right now. So I want to specifically address anybody that you may have previously enrolled that's terminated. And if you are somebody that's been in Isagenix a long time and you have a downline of people, whether you personally enrolled them or maybe like I enrolled Marquis and Marquis enrolled Sarah and Sarah enrolled whatever, and say Sarah is like no longer around either and she doesn't have any interest in Isagenix anymore, that you would look at who did Sarah enroll and does she have terminated people that you might be able to reach out to. Because terminated people have to re-enroll, which means there is this opportunity for real, a fresh start for them, and also a fresh start for them with this Fast Start Consultant bonus, which is a total game changer in my opinion, especially for us now talking about really sharing with people packs and ways to get started that don't have the PIBs. So just really quickly to recap the Fast Start to Consultant bonus, just in case anybody's on the call and doesn't know, starting on February 25th through the end of March, when somebody enrolls within that time frame, they have 14 days to find their first two people that order 100 BB or higher, meaning to get them to consultant, right? So one on the left, one on the right of 100 BB or higher. If they do that within their first 14 days of enrolling, not becoming an associate, but enrolling, they will earn an additional $100 on top of the $50 consultant bonus. So that is huge, because we're talking about that's basically the equivalent of double PIBs for a 30-day, which that's amazing. And people freaking love that. So this is a huge opportunity to help people get some of that fast cash right away. And I think coming from the approach of baseline nutrition, lower price point of starting, this can be a huge shift in your business. So when we talk about going back to these terminated customers, you never know what was the reason that they stopped. And I think it's just fair to try to open up some dialogue. At one point in time, I know that you loved Isagenix and I loved seeing your name pop up in our, product page or whatever that was. And I just want to tell you about what I'm most excited about in Isagenix right now. If you're interested in learning more, and try to just open up some dialogue with them about what you're most excited about. And this is what I'm most excited about right now in Isagenix. And if they stay open to it, there's a lot of people that quit, you guys, because they didn't have the money, right? Which we know we can address, starting them on something lower price point. So they maybe even are interested in coming back to Isagenix, but the person that enrolled them, whether it was you or somebody else on your team, isn't posting about the Forever Pack. They don't even realize there's a lower price point entryway for them, right? You have to be willing to open that door for people to walk through. So they might have stopped for money. They might have stopped for a lack of support. They might have stopped for a mindset block. We don't really know why people stop. And so there's a huge opportunity there. I want to share with you what I know my dear friend Heidi Fish, her team, what they did is it, and this could be an opportunity that maybe you might decide to do as a team, and Meredith and whoever else might decide to spearhead, but I also want you to take full ownership of your team and your downline. So don't wait on Meredith or Christina or somebody else to do it for you, which is they created a Google survey, like on a Google form. It's free to do if you have a Gmail account. They created this form that was basically like they went back to any customer who is currently inactive. And they did this last summer. This was before the Forever Pack, but they went back to them and they asked them, like, what was the positive part of their experience with Isagenix in their team? What would they like to see differently? Like what else were they missing? Like what was missing from that experience? And what was the reason that they left or stopped ordering? And they included a place for people to put their name and information if they wanted. So you have to be open that some people want to just provide the feedback and they won't want to be contacted. But it also opened up a huge opportunity for people to start that dialogue again. And if it was price, then you have a reason to reach back out. If it was a missing link in community, you have a reason to reach back out. If it was an unsupportive spouse, you have a reason to reach back out, right? There's all these things. So that was like a really non-threatening way because they just went back to their customers and were like, hey, I'm so grateful. I have loved having this small business. It has supported my family in such beautiful ways. And sometimes I don't take the time to express my sincere gratitude to you for the ways in which you supported my business. And I just want to take a little bit of time and figure out how I could better serve you or other people that join our small business in the future. Would you be willing to take 3 minutes to just fill out this quick survey? And people did. So that's an opportunity also to consider as a way to really start that conversation and dialogue again with those people that are no longer ordering Isagenix. Because I think until you know what was the obstacle that caused them to stop, you can't really address that, right? Are there any questions so far? I feel like spewed. No. Okay. The other thing I want you to consider are who are the people that you've added to your product page that have not yet enrolled. So if you are like me, I literally have a list in 17 different spots because organization is not a strength of mine. So I have 17 notebooks. I have 4 Excel documents. I have a Google Doc. I mean, I've tried to do it all. Here's what I would say. The best place to, this sounds horrible, but to fish from, if you're going fishing, is your own pond, So I would say think about, especially with this week, literally today, after this call, to look in your product page and find who are those people that you've added that are in there. And I would put them into columns almost, which are who are the people who never enrolled that are in there? Who are the people that have enrolled and they're ordering products and maybe I forgot about them, right? And that happens. And who are the people in there, that could fall into this category of maybe they did the business at one time and they're not doing it right now. And specifically for the people that have been sitting in there and they haven't yet enrolled, that to me, that's your hottest list right now. That is the hot list that you should be going back to them and saying hey, I know that you've been in there and checking Isagenix out. I just want you to know what I'm most excited about in Isagenix is really helping people change and shift their habits. And I just want you to and I think you can just say that you have a fresh perspective and you want to know if you can help them. And I think you have to open the dialogue by saying it's fresh, it's new. I'm going to pull up really quick the actual text that they use. Okay, so this is the text that David MacArthur trains on. It says, I know you've been in the process of exploring Isagenix as a possible fit for you. I'm excited about a new way of getting started on your health journey that's super simple, completely affordable, and backed by powerful science. Okay, so that I think is, and then you ask them to look at a tool or to get on a phone call with you, whatever that might look like. But that I think is a really, it doesn't feel like a hard sale, but it's saying I have a new way to help you get started and it's affordable and it's simple and it's backed by science. I think that is, and honestly that verbiage could be used for a lot of different people. to be honest. But I want you to consider those people that you've added to the product page. That is your hottest list right now, because they've expressed interest. And again, they could be sitting in there and they haven't reached out to enroll because you've already had that conversation. They already know they can't afford $500, $400, $300 on a system or pack. So those are kind of my big things that I wanted to cover today. How else can I help? Or
oh my gosh, I just love it. I love it, Julie. You guys, please ask any questions. Now's the time if you have any questions for us. But what we want to continue to do is continue to educate and give you guys tools for this. And I actually would love to hear, this is a great time to hear, if what we've shared with you has given you guys more freedom and more of like a breathing and maybe enrolling people. Have you guys enrolled anyone recently because of hearing about this?
Lots of shaking heads.
Yeah, so
I wanted to say something. Yeah, I think that this is really incredible. You know, I've been in Isagenix almost 5 years, and it was just getting to be like a little bit too much. I was getting burnt out with coaching. I was getting burnt out with the messages and the questions and the I don't like the flavor of the snacks and all this kind of stuff. And what we were asking people to do was really hard. Like cleansing is hard. And it's not right for everybody. So I feel like so excited to be able to take the science to people. I'm the nerd. I nerd out way hard on the science. I just love it. I think it is so incredible that we can back these products by science and share these with, everybody. This pack is for everybody. It really is. And so it has breathed some fresh life into my business and has gotten me excited, like, for the first time, like since seeing that, Jen Smith video, like back 5 years ago. Like seriously, it's that same kind of fire. So yes, thank you for sharing this, because this is going to be so much more palatable and helpful for my team.
Good. And I can totally relate, man. I remember the first time I saw that Jen Smith video, and it's like her daughter's outside and she's like showing how the cycling works for like the comp plan. And I was like, oh, what? So yeah, I do think this brings in new life and new energy, and it should, because it is a fresh perspective. And I do think it is simple for anybody to do. It's accessible and it's extremely duplicatable, right? Because we're trying now to pivot. Instead of being focused on that fast cash, instead of building the house of cards, we're building the house of bricks. We're committing that we know that, we're not going to focus as much on those bonuses. We're going to build the bricks so that when the wind comes through, we've built forever customers and our income isn't going to change. And I think there's something really, really powerful about that. And also like that people need our nutrition like so bad, you guys. And I don't like to like apologize for things that I didn't have control over, but man, sometimes I feel bad. Like I feel bad that like I maybe didn't set people up in the right way to allow them to see Isagenix through the lens of forever nutrition. That I set them up on a 30-day system that they thought like 30 days or 60 days even, or 90 days even. And then they were like going to go back to regular life. And that I did them a disservice, quite frankly, because they need this in their life. And I think that, in my training at Super Saturday, we talked a lot about like, you can still run to executive on the Forever Pack. And you can get there, and it's a beautiful thing because it's so duplicatable. But if your focus is on building the bricks and helping other people build the bricks, you will get to executive naturally. And you won't feel the weight of how that can sometimes feel. Like, let's be honest, like sometimes that feels heavy. And instead, like, let's bring the fun back to this. And like, let's say, like, we're just going to help one person change their habits, and we're going to help them find two people to change theirs. And if that can be like our frame of reference, instead of like, run to executive, and if you don't run to executive, you're not worthy. You know what I mean? Like, and let's remove that weight and just build our house of bricks. And maybe we make, like, the visual is we're building a house together. And it's not Meredith's House of Bricks and Christina's, and it's all of ours. We're going to build the House of Bricks together. And the beauty in that, I just think, is so good.
Yeah. And even other leaders who have run to executive, but you fall in and out of it. We all are, whatever. It's just given us so much freedom to, like she said, just go there with ease because of the duplication. And so everything's lining up right now with the consultant bonus and with Kelly's trip that she's offering. Everything is lining up. And so it's everyone's game. It's just simple. And that people who before have never enrolled anyone are now enrolling people because they're like, oh yeah, I love the vitamin. Oh, I love my shake every day. But they thought it was the mindset of thinking they had to sell this big old thing, so I just think that is so beautiful. So I would so encourage you guys, like we are doing, please go back to people. Please go back to old business builders. Please go back to Terminated. Please go back to the people you've added to these groups, you guys, and we have scripts for all this, because these people still want an opportunity, still are looking for a way of making money. And we have this awesome verbiage, you guys, that's just being used now, like with affiliate rewards money. So we are an affiliate with Isagenix and we are getting rewards cash. That is understandable to now millennials. That people get that affiliate rewards cash. And so we have this great marketing and great verbiage for you guys. So please use that and get so excited. But go back to those people who did rank advanced executive, that did go manager. They are still wanting that money, but just thought it was our old way. And I mean, take ownership and say, hey, we didn't know, but I wish I would know then what I know now, and get excited to hold hands and link arms with them again.
Yeah. And I think I'm glad that you brought up that Kelly and Tyler's trip, because I do think there is real synergy in that. And I know that, let's be real, like I am a blue on the color code, but I definitely am purple. Like I have a streak of red. So like rank advancing and that kind of thing that was a huge motivator and a huge drive for me. But I will say, you guys, I built a house of cards and like the wind came through and knocked me down. But I will say about Kelly and Tyler's thing is that allow that to be a driver to push you, to encourage you, to motivate you to have the conversations, okay? Because at the end of the day, the whole reason that they're putting the promotion there is because they're trying to get you into action to do the things that are going to grow your like brick house. Like that's why they do it. I mean, they're great. They'll be excited to take the people that win, and I will be thrilled if many of the people on this call are those people. But more than anything, like let it just be fuel to you to build your house of bricks. And you can use this pack, the Forever Pack. You can use a la carte packs to run yourself, like run new people to manager. And with the Fast Start consultant bonuses, they're like literally, I have never seen a better time to do that. And I'm not saying that because it sounds so cliche and everybody in Isagenix says that like all the time. And I'm like, no, it's not. This really is. This really is, because the Fast Start is promoting people to move fast, and because we're starting them on such a low cost pack, it is literally paying for their entire 30 days worth of products to enroll 2 people. And then you tell those 2 people to enroll 2 people. Like, don't get caught in the business terminology. Get caught in the like, you guys, no one should have to pay for Isagenix. Like, no one should. Everybody should be able to get superfood nutrition for free. And they can. And right now it's easier than ever, but you only have 14 days. So how can I help you find your 2 people in 14 days? And then how can I help those 2 people find theirs? Because they have created this time urgency, use it to your advantage. But I'm telling you, if you are like sitting with like your hands under your legs, paralyzed because you're not sure where to start and where to go, this month of March is going to be over in an instant and you will have missed this huge opportunity. So like, what can you do today to start to build your house of bricks? What does that look like? Number 1, I think you need to look at who do you have in your product page that hasn't yet enrolled. Huge, huge, huge opportunity. That's your hottest list right now. Number 2, who can you go back to that is terminated because those people can be re-enrolled, and those will count towards the Fast Start to Consultant bonuses, and they will count towards Kelly and Tyler's thing. That, if I was going to give you any advice on exactly where I would start, quite frankly, I just made my own to-do list while I was talking for this afternoon. That is where I'm going to start, because those people can earn fast cash, and we can help them do it, and we can help them change their habits to create forever customers. So I feel like I would just like drop the mic. Now I'm going to go get to work, and you should too.
Awesome. Yes, let's all get to work, you guys. This was amazing. Julie, thank you so much. I hope you guys are so fired up and excited and ready to work. If you have any questions at all, please message one of us, and we would love to help you. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye, guys.